We've got really good news for you guys to start off with. Breaking from the Post-Millennial. Judge rules against Antifa defendants in default. Awards Andy Ngo $300,000 in damages over Portland attack. Each defendant has been ordered to pay Andy Ngo $100,000. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see how Andy Ngo collects, but maybe, I'm assuming the net worth of these Antifa people probably in the negatives. So good luck to Andy. But hey, it's a spiritual victory. It is a monetary victory. And, it's entirely possible that many of these Antifa people come from wealthy families. They may have to just write him a check. I hope Andy Ngo takes a nice, beautiful vacation and buys himself a fancy car. The court ruled in favor of Post-Millennial senior editor Andy Ngo on Monday in his civil trial against the remaining 3 alleged Antifa defendants that had physically attacked him in June 2019. Defendants Corbin Belia, Madison Lee Allen, and Samich Overkill Shot Deputy, that's the name, were found liable by Judge Sinaplasai for assault, battery, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Each defendant has been ordered to pay Ngo $100,000 in damages. The virtual trial was held at the Multnomah County Courthouse on Monday after the 3 defendants were found in default for not responding to the court order to appear at the civil jury trial, which was held earlier this month. Defendants Belia, Allen, and Shot Deputy, the guy changed his name apparently to that for that reason, were allegedly involved in the June 29th, 2019 attack on Ngo, in which he was brutally beaten by a mob of alleged Antifa members. They're very careful with their fear of litigation. While reporting on an event in Portland, Oregon, the attack received nationwide attention and is most commonly referred to as the Milkshake incident. Ngo was left severely injured and was admitted to the hospital after the attack left him with significant injury to the brain. So we have, I believe Andy Ngo has issued a statement saying at a hearing today regarding 3 defaulted Antifa defendants in my Ngo versus v. Rose City Antifa et al. Lawsuit. The court heard evidence about the brutal 2019 beating I suffered at a Rose City Antifa event where I was seriously injured. The court found that I was indeed battered and assaulted by Madison Denny Lee Allen, Catherine Corbin Belia, and Samich Overkill Shot Deputy, formerly Joseph Christian Evans. The court awarded me $300,000 to be split equally among these 3 attackers. So here's what I want to say as we jump into the conversation. The reason why these 3 individuals did not show up to court and were found in default, they were guilty. Discernibly guilty, visibly guilty, in my opinion. What I'm saying is there's video footage of the attack. And as Andy Ngo tweeted, the judge found that they did commit battery and attack him. I think they knew if they go in, they may even be arrested on criminal charges, but they actually, my understanding is they did show up to the trial to watch. After they defaulted, they then sat and watched the other people. The other people that were on trial were found not liable. And so this was pushed by the left as like, oh, Andy Ngo loses. It's a failure, blah, blah, blah. But now we have the award to Andy Ngo for $300,000. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, there's crazy stuff going on. Someone super chatted already saying that some cop cars were set on fire in Asheville. We do have that story. And so everyone's very, very worried. But my friends, we start you off today with a white pill. Yo, Andy Ngo won $300,000. So it's not a foregone conclusion. Anybody trying to tell you to give up, it's over, Trump can win, they're wrong. They're completely wrong. All of these never Trumpers who keep saying Trump can't win, they're wrong. I got the data to back that up, and we'll get into it. But for the time being, here you go, everybody. It's a good day, huh?
Yeah, especially when it's a victory in basically what I would deem a hostile courtroom, right? This is in Portland.
A hostile territory.
Exactly. I think you're right. It's hard to see if they'll actually ever pay out. Maybe he has to get in line behind their student loan debt creditors. But there's a chance, and it doesn't matter either way because they ruled in his favor. It would be crazy to look at the videos of this attack. Didn't they mix concrete with this milkshake?
Yeah, the left claims they didn't.
Oh, okay.
But there are many reports that they did.
Yeah. So it's a serious assault, and if any court had ruled any other way, we would really know that that whole city was a lost territory, in my opinion.
I think it's a good sign in general, too, because he was working with a group, Center for American Liberty, that people are growing a backbone and actually getting, involved in litigation and taking things to the court system rather than just kind of grousing about it online. They did work with Simon Atiba. I love him. And also have been, I don't know if it's the same organization, but launched a lawsuit against the Center for Countering Digital Hate because they keep targeting people on social media platforms. I think that generally speaking, aside from the stuff with Andy, it's just a good sign of things to come.
Absolutely.
Because people have to get involved and actually take things again.
I had these lefties are really angry. They're mad that Andy Ngo actually won. They tried making that claim, as I mentioned earlier, that because the judge ruled in favor of the other two Antifa, Andy No loses, ha ha ha. Yeah, but we knew, and we said this, the reason these guys skipped is likely because there's visible evidence of them committing this crime against Andy, and they're going to lose in court. So by not showing up, they lose anyway. They don't waste their time.
Mm-hmm. Concerned for that judge and his safety, honestly.
And I have to wonder, when it came to the first jury, the lawyer for Antifa actually said, I'm going to remember all of you, right? And they were concerned from the jury that they were going to be doxxed and threatened. So I'm assuming it's the judge ordered this, but look, the judge had no choice. I bet the judge was pissed off about it. A Portland judge, probably super far left, but has no choice. They're in default. There's video. They have no way to defend any of their actions. Andy No wins.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's good then, right? Like, of course, intimidating the jury is bad. Of course, we want the judge to be safe, but maybe it's a good sign that they were like, we're not even going to try and fight this because there's no way out of it, right? Like, there are times that people need to see that you can push back and they will cave. I think so often because Antifa gets off and sort of easy, police don't prosecute the same way they would other criminals. It's easy to think there's no getting around them. They just get treated differently. And it's good to see Andy No win this.
I guess I'm wondering what y'all think's going to happen in the next year, right? I don't think we've had a particularly lively summer this year. It's an off election year, so it's pretty chill. But what ends up happening, it's really funny. You get these election years where there's absolute bedlam and everyone's like, the apocalypse is happening. And then you get an off election year and everyone's like, maybe I overreact and everything's totally fine. Then you get another election year and it's worse than it was the previous year. So I'm wondering, what do you guys think? 2024, is it going to get nuts?
I heard that people want to mask other people up again. So I think it's COVID.
That is happening.
It was this shutdown stuff that drove people insane out onto the streets and rioting and crap. So we didn't do it this year. We didn't have the riots. Let's not do it again next year. I mean, I'm in such a state of civil disobedience right now. I have so low interest in wrapping diapers on my face. I got COVID. I killed COVID. I feel great now. I don't want to go through this bullshit again. So stand with me and let's shut it down before it begins. Have a free and open society like we're meant to have.
I was talking about this earlier today because I went to Portland this weekend. Portland, Maine. I don't know about the rest of Maine, but Portland, they never got rid of their COVID policies. So they're still in the city. When you're walking down the street, they put those banners on streetlights. They all say like, wear your mask. You must wear your mask and things like that with cartoon pictures of people wearing masks. And the crazy story that I told is the local casino in the area. They have like one in the whole state. Well, there's a couple, but the one in the area is called Oxford. When you play a table game, these table poker games, you're not supposed to show your cards to anybody because it gives the players an advantage. Because of their COVID policies still in effect today, they lay the cards down face up in front of everyone to see. So all the players can see the cards everyone else has, giving the players a massive edge against the casino. I know most people probably don't care about the casino stuff, but I'm just telling you, this was I cannot believe that it is 2023 entering 2024. And in Maine, they still have such ridiculous and extreme COVID lockdown policies in place. The only thing people said to me is, outside of the casino, for the most part, everyone ignores the lockdown measures.
And I'm surprised the casino doesn't at least try to get the city to repeal them or whatever else, because it seems like they would just lose money by giving everyone else an advantage.
I'll just tell you guys, we made $2,000.
That's cool.
Me and Allison, my girlfriend, we played $200 each. Just, that was it. And we walked out with over $2,000 because like, when you can see the other players' cards, you can calculate your odds really easily. It's like, imagine if the casino was forced to allow you to count cards and explain to you the counting of cards. You'd just be winning at blackjack all the time. That's basically, it's like, oh, I can see that no one else has any aces and I have ace king. It's like, I'm going to bet really big. Look at that. I won.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of what's going to happen next year, I feel like I would want to look at the violent crime statistics, which spiked after COVID. And obviously we had our fun summer of love. An election year will probably put people on edge. If they do try and enforce some kind of lockdown in the fall, like I've heard rumor they're going to, then maybe people will be on edge. But generally, I think we are actually becoming more accustomed to violence right now. We're more used to seeing violent incidents reported. And so in some ways, yes, there weren't like major riotings the way there were in 2020. On the other hand, we are actually seeing generally unrest in major cities across the country.
You don't actually worry about this Andy No verdict is that it will make things worse. And the reason is, who is going to enforce that $300,000 against these individuals? These are derelict individuals as it is. So Andy, like I mentioned, they probably have negative money. There's a moral victory here, but the reason why I fear there's a potential for escalation is when Antifa realize the courts have no real enforcement authority against people who own nothing, there's nothing that can be done. These individuals we would call judgment proof. Now, don't get me wrong, they may actually be trust fund babies. A lot of these far left extremists come from very wealthy families. So they may be going, Mom, I have to pay $100,000. And they're like, just take it out of one of the accounts. I don't care, who cares? And then they write a check. If that's it, good. Andy gets $300,000. I hope he buys himself a Tesla or something. But I think there's a strong possibility these individuals don't own anything. They have no money. Their net worth is probably in the range of like a couple $100s. So what's going to happen? Andy is going to have a sheriff come knock on their door and be like, well, we're taking what you do have. And he's going to get an old pair of leather boots or something. Mm-hmm. He's going to get like an Antifa outfit.
And how much has he spent on his defense right now? I mean, he must have so much money locked up in legal fees.
Potentially, he could garnish wages.
But do they have wages?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And so other Antifa could be like, hey, look, nothing bad happened. They didn't go to jail. Mm-hmm. Even though the judge was like, yeah, they did it.
Even if they got arrested, they'd just be set loose again.
Yep.
So.
Is there, if you don't pay $100K, if they're just like, no, screw you, don't they get arrested and go to jail then?
No, they do not.
Just held for 30 days?
We don't have debtors' prisons anymore. Nope. No, what would happen is, like, let's say you got sued and you didn't pay, then the court would be like, they'd go to the sheriff and be like, this person's in default for a court-ordered payment. The sheriff comes and knocks on the door and says, like, we're here to collect belongings, and you can be like, I don't have anything.
So garnish wages in perpetuity until it's paid off.
Garnish wages is a possibility, but that means these people are getting paid through an actual payroll company or something. That's what I'm saying. These people are like derelict extremists. They're going to get paid under the table. They're going to go to some ally in Portland and they're going to say, you got to pay me under. They're going to go to a proper business, even a McDonald's, and they'll go to the far left extremist person who works there and be like, just pay me under the table. And they'll be like, you got it. Maybe not a McDonald's, because there's a lot of red tape there. But there will be like a mom and pop cafe, and they'll be like, don't worry, we'll pay you cash and no one will know what's happening. Mm-hmm. And then Andy can't get any of your money. Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.